Welcome everybody to another LEGO Star Wars review. This is a set that I have actually wanted for a long time, pretty much since it retired, and I just did not ever pull the trigger on getting this on shelves. I have regretted it and finally gone ahead and spent the money that it costs now to get this secondhand. I picked this up at my Bricksville store on South OKC. They are a fantastic LEGO reseller and just overall great people. They have a spot now in Edmond and it's just fantastic. So it allows them to, buy, trade, and sell a whole lot more. And they blow bricks and minifigs out of the water, to be totally fair. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at what the box would look like. I don't have it here, so we're just going to look at a picture, but it's set 75087. It is officially called Anakin's Custom Jedi Starfighter. It released in 2015, so I definitely recall that as being like the year I was very tight on money because I just moved out of my parents' house. Has 370 pieces with 3 minifigures. One is unique to this set. Nowadays, it costs $214 if you wanted it in the box, and used $140, which is about what I paid. Originally, it retailed for $40, which is why I actually never ended up getting it, because it seemed sort of expensive for a Starfighter. So that being said, here we are. Let's take a quick look at the minifigures and then we'll get onto the ship itself. First up, we have Anakin Skywalker, and he's definitely one of the harder to find Anakins, being from episode 2, but he looks fantastic. I would have really liked to see this figure be redone a little bit to fit the theme of this starship a little bit better, as they did with Asajj Ventress, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. It's still great to get this figure, though. He came out in 2013 with the gunship for Attack of the Clones, so that's the only other time you see this minifigure. And we have Asajj Ventress, and she's pretty cool. She comes with her standard Ventress lightsabers, but she has been stylized to fit the Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars style Asajj Ventress, where she made her very first appearance with no eye pupils. So sort of spooky, but she looks great, and her outfit matches that cartoon perfectly, which is what this ship is based off of, which we'll get into in a little bit, but it's so fantastic. There's the back, again, with some more great detailing to that torso. Then we have R4P22. Now I can't think of it. Yeah, R4P22. Again, accurate to the show. He's actually just referred to as R4, so it could be any R4 unit technically, but this is the one that we saw in 2014 with the V-Wing, I believe. I'm staring at it actually on my shelf, and so for me, I have this figure, but a great droid if you don't have him. So overall, this is so cool. I think this is such a fun set. Again, I just have always regretted not getting it because I don't think initially it occurred to me when it first came out that this is based off of the micro series. So Star Wars Clone Wars, not Star Wars The Clone Wars. The Clone Wars, the Tartakovsky's Clone Wars was the original Clone Wars show that happened after episode 2. It was between episode 2 and Revenge of the Sith, and I remember as a kid just newly into Star Wars, absolutely loving these stories. I was a big fan of Samurai Jack and Dexter's Lab, which Tartakovsky also did, and so I was very excited for the show when it came out, and then they had a part 2, which was even better in my opinion, and then just fantastic. It is my favorite Clone Wars. I love the style of it. The storytelling is really, really good, and they also did a sort of spin-off little, tiny comic omnibuses for them, and I have every single one of those too, because before the Clone Wars animated series came out in, the movie came out in 2008, this was all we had, and it just told so many cool stories, and we got, the introduction of Asajj Ventress, which was just a cool character, and then they didn't do anything with her for a little while until the Clone Wars movie, but she's obviously a huge character now, and so it's really neat to have a LEGO set based off this series. I doubt LEGO will ever do that again. I do not know what the motivation behind it was that they did this, and I think this has even been redone into the new Clone Wars animated style, this ship. So overall, so cool. But anyways, this is it, and it definitely looks pretty crazy. As the name implies, it is a custom Jedi Interceptor. So you can sort of see the custom Jedi Interceptor angles here, and then you have some extra fins and some extra engines and some extra little flares on the back. So it's really kind of awkward to hold, to be honest, because on the bottom we have this droid ejector pin, and then these hold the the launchers, and that's really cool. I like that, but they kind of are wiggly, like they wiggle around, so it's sort of awkward. And we have a little landing gear, so this landing gear right here as well, so it tends to kind of fall over if you don't set it on right. I mean, I guess the wings help balance it out, but it's just not the sturdiest. These are stickers as well, and I'm sorry, I tried. I could not get them lined up. They were pre-applied because I got this set used. You can see this main sticker along here with a little imperfection there, but pretty good sticker. And then we have two more, one right here and one right here, and that's it. We have some black fins that give it some some cool accents. And there were some interesting techniques for the build of this. It was definitely a little bit different than your traditional Starfighter, so that's pretty cool. And then on the back, here are the engines. So the engines from the front look much more impressive. And I believe that the thing that was so cool with this, or special with this, is that it allowed Anakin Skywalker to go into hyperspace. And we know that with Jedi Starfighters, they did not have those capabilities to go into space without a hyperspace ring. So that's what made this ship sort of special. These little extra fins here are really strange because they're on a ball joint. And so you can pose them very oddly, but I think that it's wanting you to just kind of tilt them up like that. Sort of strange. You can kind of make it your own, I guess. Really is custom. And then we have some blasters here. We have a cockpit, which actually completely removes. I'm not really sure the purpose of this. I guess just as a play feature. But inside, we have a very, very cool sticker of Asajj's starship, which would have been really neat to see made into Lego. It's not too late Lego. There's also some binoculars. He definitely is feeling the vacuum of space from underneath that, but nonetheless, I think it's really cool that that comes off. That's sort of neat. And then I just wanted to kind of compare this ship to a couple other starships just for fun. So here is Anakin's standard Jedi Starfighter, which is pretty cool still. And this is the redone version from, can't remember, 2017, 2018, I think. I don't have the very, very original from like 2008. I need to get that. And then just for fun again, we have Plo Koon's starship back from sort of in 2008, I think. And so you can kind of see Plo Koon's definitely has a lot of resemblance, even though they're like years and years apart. And there is all three together. I think they look pretty cool. Camera's struggling to focus. And I guess I should put Anakin inside the cockpit. Oh, my one complaint with this is that it does not come with a spot to store the lightsaber. I like that you can store the blaster or the little missiles, but you can't store the lightsaber, and that kind of bugs me. All right, so there they are. Absolutely groovy. And I did also forget to show you the launching aspect from the underneath of this ship. If you just push up on this tab, oh boy, it launches R4P22. So there we go. That is Anakin's custom Jedi Starfighter. Really fantastic set. I'm so excited to finally have it. Wish I didn't have to pay, about $150 to get it, but I am happy to add it to my collection. This is definitely one that, it always bugged me that I wanted to pick up and missed, so I'm glad to have the opportunity to have gotten it again. And my Starfighter shelf is slowly filling out. I need Mace Windu's and Ahsoka's. And then some of the older variants of these, but in terms of like initial, ship models, I'll have them all at that point. So very cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And until next time, I will catch you later.